Knowing what we know now, how can we tell where the next Elder Scrolls game will take place? So I want to briefly address my thoughts and predictions concerning the setting of the next installment of the Elder Scrolls series, before we eventually find out, or die of old age. During Bethesda's 2018 E3 presentation, we were given a brief teaser of a misty hillside, leading into a shot of a mountainous coastal region where we finally see the placeholder title in shimmering brass letters. It's been a while since we first saw that teaser trailer, and since then the internet has been flooded with speculation. Now, to be clear, Bethesda has not yet made an official announcement concerning the setting of the next game beyond the trailer. However, Todd Howard himself has said in an interview with Eurogamer last year that the region has been decided a while ago, and that while the teaser is intentionally vague, you can rule things out, and you can also rule some things in. That's probably the biggest non-answer to any question I've heard in my entire life, but don't stop me from letting people speculate. And speculate they have. Some of the analysis I've come across seems rather reasonable. Most people seem to look at where an Elder Scrolls game hasn't been yet, and try to match the topography and climate represented in the trailer to a particular province. I have seen others, however, who have tried to pinpoint the exact location of the trailer by triangulating the coastline, the position of the sun, and the time of day to maps with no sense of scale, even to maps of Akavir that aren't even official in any capacity. The problem with this method is that it's applicable to almost anywhere on Nirn. You could even point to the Thousand Monkey Isles of Akavir as a possible candidate. A game entirely made out of monkey people makes just as much sense as a game populated almost entirely out of cat or lizard people. When asking the normal person who might be interested in the subject, the usual response I get is, "It's clearly High Rock, I mean look at those high rocks over there." Or, "Definitely Hammerfell, it's way warmer looking than Skyrim or Cyrodiil. And don't you remember that quest with the Alakir warriors? That was definitely alluding to the next game." It could very well be either High Rock or Hammerfell in all fairness, but following that logic would suppose that the next game would be a direct follow-up to the main plot of Skyrim. It seems to me at least that most people just assume that the next game will be some resolution about the war between the Empire and the Stormcloaks. If you heard there was a civil war happening in Hammerfell from a quest in Skyrim, and conclude that the next game is in Hammerfell, you might have also thought that the Elder Scrolls V would take place in the Somerset Isles, from the rumors that the High Elves were up to some nasty Daedra worship in Oblivion. The fact is that we just don't know. Most of the games have nothing to do with one another. In fact, Elder Scrolls 4 and 5 had a 200-year time jump between each story. I'm not ruling it out, but I feel like the next title will be another contained narrative. It's difficult to pin down exactly what Bethesda's vision is for the next title. The writer for Redguard, Morrowind, and Oblivion, Michael Kirkbride, apparently envisioned a future where Nirn is completely destroyed by turning into a massive clockwork bomb, with the main story taking place on the moon of Masser. Even if that might not be official canon, you'll forgive me for having a bit of an open mind on this. Another thing to note would be Bethesda trademarked the name Redfall, apparently for an upcoming game. Some people on the internet have speculated that this could be the official title for the next Elder Scrolls game, and not, let's say, a DLC for Starfield. It does sound completely plausible, but I've seen people take the trademark as confirmation for Hammerfell as a setting. Redfall? Redguard? Hammerfell? Or perhaps a continuation of the story in Skyrim. Perhaps a fall of the Empire by the Thalmor's hands due to the fact that red appears on some of the Imperial flags and uniforms. If it is the name, it could mean whatever the writers at Bethesda want it to mean. I mean, the moon Masser is kind of red. It could mean that the moon is falling. See how easy it is to speculate? I could do this all day. I won't, but I could. What I will do is convey my desires for the next game, and where ultimately I feel like it will take place. My wants for the next game are very simple. A much larger game. Sailing to give the Argonian racial bonus a modicum of relevance, and perhaps a glimpse of Akavir or another continent. I'd even go for multiple provinces if they could pull it off. That would all be very nice, but I believe, with no evidence, that the next game will take place in one province. Which province? I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to throw out a guess and say elsewhere. I realize that the Elder Scrolls Online is doing a Khajiit-heavy expansion soon, but I don't think land touched by ESO rules out any one area. Since I've made it clear that none of us have any idea what we're talking about, I'm going to play a little game in the comment section below. If the game doesn't take place in elsewhere, I will give a free copy of the game to the highest thumbs up correct guess once we hear an official announcement of the game's location. That's one guess each. I'll pick someone else if there's a spam of every province from one person. Again, the highest thumbs up correct guess in the comments. Anyway, thank you for listening to my thoughts on the matter. I'm open to creating another video in the future if more information comes out that changes my opinion. I'll be doing more videos like these in the future. For example, going over what I would like to see more in detail in the Elder Scrolls 6. You can also expect to see lore videos soon. So if you made it all the way to the end, consider subscribing and hitting that like button. Follow me on social media, and I will see you next time.